It is a hot topic. Hot topic.
Hot topic.
It is a hot topic.
Honestly, anytime I hear hot topic now, I think of what your mom calls people the parade.
The parade.
I can't not think of anything else, honestly.
Yeah.
It was like a parade.
It's great. It's fantastic.
But let me tell you where we're going tonight, what I want to talk about for this episode. We do have another episode, but we're probably going to do that on Monday. That's going to be just for you guys, our supporters. And if anyone listens to this, you can go to talkmurder.com or patreon.com/talkmurder to hit that one. But I guess, what did we decide? Monday
Monday at
night.
7.
I actually have like 2 or 3 episodes in the works. One of them is, I'll give you the title.
Okay. This one's so good, you have the title first. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not typical for you to have a title before we put something out.
The title will be called Diabolical Stew of Human Remains.
All right.
Because that is what the killer had written in his notebook.
I'm intrigued. Looking forward to that episode.
Yeah, and then I have another one. I have 2. I got one incest story, and then
God, not one I'm looking forward to.
and then another interesting one. I think they're all kind of obscure, but anyway, tonight this is what I want to talk about. We're going here. So, has anyone been here?
It looks like the middle of the desert.
Yeah. Have
but
you
like
been
a
there?
little community.
Huh?
Where is it?
This is
Arizona.
Bonanza Creek Ranch. This is in New Mexico.
All right. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot around there.
A ranch in Santa Fe County, New Mexico.
There's like 10 houses in this whole town or something.
Look at this. It's a western town, y'all.
Whoa. Like, is that
Bank.
like a real western town that's just there?
Hell yeah, it's a real western town. It's just there.
Wow.
Why is this blurred out?
It looks like a movie set, to be honest. It looks like the set from Blazing Saddles.
It's a great movie.
It is, yeah. So a lot of movies have been filmed here. I thought this was...
Brandon said it. Now it's Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
we started replaying that.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption. So, do you guys know what I'm talking about here?
Yes, I do.
What?
Well, I don't want to say it because you'll get mad that I know.
Well, everyone probably knows. This is in Battle Creek Ranch. It's actually a really cool western town.
But it is a real town.
Yes, it is a real town. Well, no. Excuse me.
It used to be a real town.
Yeah, it's not inhabited, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, but it's not fake. Like the buildings aren't fake.
No, the
buildings
are real.
but people don't live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a ghost town, I would imagine. I mean, it is a ghost town, 100%. But the first movie that was filmed there was over 60 years ago. And actually, I haven't seen a lot of movies filmed there because the guy from Westworld, they don't film it there. Like, none of those film it here. So I don't know how many ranches like this there are, but this movie crew was filming there. But the first movie was 60 years ago. The Man from Laramie, I don't know, never seen it. And then Longmire, which is a popular show, right? Longmire? Have you heard of that, Jen? You heard of Longmire?
I have not.
And then the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, we've seen that one. So,
did you say The Man from Laramie?
Oh, hey, Shram's mom, huh? Yeah, The Man from Laramie with Jenny Stewart, whoever that is.
I know that story. I had to read the Laramie Project in college.
I didn't want to do this story at all, but it's in the news right now, and we are talking about the death of the cinematographer that Alec Baldwin shot last year. So this was October 21st, 2021. Yeah, that's about a year and 3 months.
A little over a year ago.
Yeah, so a year and 3 months. I didn't want to do this story. However, recently, and the news is happening right now, the updates, Alec Baldwin is possibly, a very high possibility, going to go to prison for 2 years.
Wow.
So, isn't that crazy?
It
2
is.
years.
That's...
Yeah. Now, this is not the first time someone has died on a movie set from an accidental shooting.
Yeah, I know.
Correct?
Yeah, that is true.
I'm assuming, I don't know. Are we going to talk a little bit about that? And like
what, Bruce Lee?
Yeah. Like, did someone go to prison for that?
I don't know. I didn't cover that story. Didn't his son also die on a movie set?
Correct.
Brandon Lee?
I think that was doing stunt, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. No, Bruce Lee was shot with a real bullet.
Right.
However, out of all the Hollywood movies that were made, and I was watching this interview interview with this guy from Westworld. I can't remember his name. He, the black guy, the doctor or whatever. He was saying that the possibility for this to happen, it would have to be a very mismanaged set. Okay. Because there's no live rounds allowed at all. So someone had put a live round in the gun. Now there's a lot of things. So I want to decide if this dude, Alec Baldwin, which I don't have any bias against this dude. I'm telling you right now, I don't like the guy, but
I don't have a bias yet. I don't like the guy.
I don't fucking like the guy at all. I think he's a weasel. But anyway, should he go to prison for 2 years? So I want to know what everyone thinks. I'm going to kind of lay it out and what he says and what happened. But he is the one who shot this cinematographer. Now he says that he never pulled the trigger, which is bullshit because the guns don't fire unless the trigger is pulled.
Correct.
I mean, but he is the one that was holding the weapon, the Colt revolver that killed this lady. Everyone knows about the story kind of, but we're going to kind of go over it because it's kind of crazy that 2 years, that's a long time for something that was accidental. Yeah. And I'm not saying it was on purpose. It was not on purpose. She didn't, she wasn't murdered.
Right.
But should there be responsible parties and is that 2 year sentence warranted is what I want to find out.
I almost do wonder, is this the right person being charged almost with the accident? Obviously the Alec Baldwin was the person who pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
But if he didn't realize that there was a bullet in there, I don't know the circumstances.
Oh yeah,
but I'm just saying,
we're gonna get into it.
Is he really the person at fault? And Brandon said yes. Brandon shot himself with a blank and died. The concussive blast was still a ton of force.
What?
And it's
Brandon
Lee.
Oh, I was like. Wait, so
that's interesting.
Brandon says what? Can you read what he said?
So in the Brandon Lee incident, the concussive blast was a ton of force, but no projectile. Close range in the head to simulate suicide for a movie, but it became a little too realistic.
So
that's wild.
Him and his dad, Bruce Lee died from a bullet too, right?
Yes.
So both of them died like that?
That's freaking freaky.
Holy hell, man. If you ever find yourself on a movie set and there's something where you have to get a gun pointed at you, have to fire a gun, simulate suicide, if it involves pulling the trigger, or no, screw it. If it involves holding a gun, unless it's a Nerf gun, I don't care what anyone says, you check that shit yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? You check it yourself. You check that shit yourself. End of story. I would never see, I mean, these guys, man, they're just bang, 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 and just don't even fucking think about it.
Well, they're actors, so they're just assuming somebody's got it covered,
put something
right?
in my contract with the company to say I don't want to be involved in any projects that involve me holding a firearm.
Or having one pointed at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's gonna
limit your possibilities, Jen.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To be totally honest, I don't have a whole lot of offers out there right now anyway.
You never know. This could launch you into superstardom.
My contract would say I will only do a movie if I can show full
frontal nudity.
Full frontal and bent over nudity. So probably prison scene. They're checking for drugs in my rectum. I need that in my contract.
Who's opening up John and OnlyFans account?
Oh man. Shrimp says I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but probably, true. That would be another good set of episodes.
Yeah.
Brandon says Keanu walks over everything with the props master for the Wick movies because he's very concerned about safety and making guns a safe activity even when used in media. Good for Keanu Reeves.
I love Keanu Reeves.
We gotta watch the Wick movies.
I want to shake his hand.
Yeah,
There's a video out there. There's a video out there where he gets, I think, robbed or something. I can't remember. Or not robbed, whatever. But some guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, Keanu," he's walking on the street, somebody did this to your motorcycle or whatever. He gets on his motorcycle and rides away. It's just the coolest dude ever. I like that guy.
I think we need to watch the Wick movies because isn't it all about a guy taking revenge for his dog? I feel like this that just speaks to who you are as a human being.
All right, let's get on with this. So you guys tell me if this guy, Alec Baldwin, and the armorer, which I'm going to show you her, should go to jail for 18 months. And so at the end of this, you guys tell me what you guys think. The 21st of October, 2021, this is 1:50 p.m. I'm not going to stretch this out because everyone knows kind of what happened, but I will tell you that there is a real life 3D reconstruction. Obviously, the death is on camera. They were filming.
Right.
That is, the whole thing is on camera, but they can't put that out, obviously. obviously.
And it's not leaked.
It's not leaked. So what they did was make a 3D reconstruction.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to watch
Okay.
of said shooting. So let's watch that right now. I'm going to get us on this video right quick. All right. I'm going to kind of break this down really quick. In the movie, Alex, I keep wanting to call him Alex. I thought his name was Alex. Alex Trebek.
With a C.
In the movie, Alec Trebek is...
No.
Baldwin.
Alec
Oh,
Baldwin.
what did I say? Trebek?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking tits.
Suck it, Trebek.
In the movie, Alec Johnson...
Baldwin.
God, this is going terrible. In the movie, Alec Baldwin his character is sitting in a church and there's a gunfight that happens in the church. That's what this reconstruction is. And he shoots the cameraman. The camera's in front of him, as you'll see. And then he shoots, bow, and it hits the cameraman, camera woman, which is only a few feet away. So this is the reconstruction. So there's his character right there. Now this is the
props person.
She hands Alec Baldwin this gun and says that the gun is cold, which basically means there's no live rounds in it. So he puts it in his pocket.
Why would they put why would there be a reason for having live rounds on a set like that, period?
Well, there isn't. That's the whole conspiracy.
There's no reason for live rounds to be on a set at all. 100%
Right.
not even allowed. It's against the rules. It's
Right,
actually
so doesn't
against,
that make this a conspiracy that how did this bullet live round get there?
I mean, no one wanted to kill this camera woman. But anyway, let's just watch this video.
Okay.
Right quick.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, you better be.
So the revolver is in his pocket.
Yeah. And then you see where the camera woman is. That's her. That's her right there with the
Yep.
black mask or with the black hoodie and the mask. She's a female. And then here's the director. His last name is Souza behind her. So, bow.
In the chest, she was shot.
So they're going to show like inside what happens to the, through the body. 1 second. Oh, what the fuck? Say it goes right through. Boom.
Ooh.
And then it actually hits the cameraman behind her.
So the revolver was filled with all live rounds. Like in the chamber, they were all actual bullets.
Well, hold on. I'll get to that.
Okay.
But to answer that question, there were 3 live rounds there. There shouldn't have been any, like I said.
So three out of the 6 were live and the other 3 were
But just
blanks.
let me get there. Let me get there. Oh my God. Holy shit. All right. Now let's talk first about this cinematographer first. So the question I have is Alec Baldwin is going to prison for 2 years. It's 18 months. And the armorer is also getting charged with manslaughter and is probably going to face the same sentence. But
the prop person, you mean? Is that or
the armorer, the person who handles the guns?
Got it.
Yeah. So should anybody or them or who should go to prison, if anyone, is what I'm trying to ask.
Okay.
All right. So just try to think about that. All right, so let's talk about the woman that was shot first. So this is her right here. Yeah, so Hutchins was her name. She's actually Ukrainian born.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She's 42, even though she definitely doesn't look it. She looks a lot.
No, she looks like she's in her 20s. My God.
She's a Ukrainian native, a restless dreamer, and adrenaline junkie. That's what her IG page says. From her website promoting her cinematography, she says that she is from a remote Soviet military base in the Arctic Circle. And really interesting, on her website, she says that she grew up, quote, surrounded by reindeer and nuclear submarines.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
That is an interesting background.
Yeah, quite the combination.
Yeah, so she brings a very unique aspect, the European film style, from what I've been researching, to the American film industry. So it's kind of a unique mix with her. So she worked on documentary films in Europe. She has a degree in international journalism from Kyiv National University. She graduated from American Film Institute Conservatory in 2015. She has a husband and 1 son that she leaves behind. And this is from a fellow cinematographer. Quote, I think the big deal about her in general, beyond being extremely talented, which is given, is her generous and really open personality. In the film industry, which is super competitive, it's not enough to have talent. It's good to have this human appealing personality. I'm not going to talk about the guy who got shot. I mean, the the assistant director. I mean, he's still alive. He got shot in the shoulder. He did say about getting shot, he said, quote, there was a very loud bang. It felt like someone kicked me in the shoulder, end quote. That's what he said. He's still alive. So he's lucky, you know. If he was, I think because it hit him like in his shoulder. I don't know how tall he is, but I feel like if he was like a little taller, that would have
could have killed him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about tonight.
Okay. So when you fire a blank, it's essentially what? Air? Like there's nothing that, like what happens when you fire a blank?
All right. So a blank cartridge, when fired, does not shoot a projectile like a bullet or a pellet, but generates just the muzzle flash, which is that you can see it on some guns, especially at night, the flash.
Right.
It's like the bang or whatever. And an explosive sound like a normal gunshot would. So the way the rounds
the shell just drops.
Let me show you a photo
like
of
the
these.
the case for it just drops out. I guess like kind of like when you fire a killer gun.
I mean,
let's see.
we've been doing this for like almost 5 years, and I still don't really know how guns specifically work. Is that bad?
Yeah, so they don't have a tip on them.
Well, that kind of answers my question, because I was going to say, if you were inspecting it, you would be able to tell.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. And what I've also seen is that these blanks, they actually like drill a hole in the side of them from what I'm seeing. And that's a good way to tell, especially on a revolver, if it's a blank or not, because it's absent of the gunpowder, I guess, inside of it.
Brandon says it is gunpowder.
It is gunpowder? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So it just doesn't have a projectile on it. Now,
interesting. Okay.
So, all right, number one, you can't have live rounds on set. You should never have live rounds on set, even in a Western set. All right. So
sure, a movie's a movie.
But I want to, before I go any further,
if you were having a scene where you were target shooting, not aiming it at another person, there should never be a
right. Yeah, it's illegal to have that. Actually, I do want to point out one thing before I go any further, because this is really important. You can't use the excuse that you didn't know anymore, right? Especially, I mean, Alec Baldwin is freaking veteran actor. He's been in all these movies, and so at this point, he's saying that it's not his fault. He didn't even pull the trigger, which is bullshit. I mean, come on, man. But he's blaming everyone else. This is his damn movie. You know what I'm saying? So to blame someone else, you need to take responsibility. It's your fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? You should. Anyway, let me move on. I'm just rambling here.
If they have a wrongful death suit, and I'm not a lawyer, but I would assume that in a wrongful death, they're going to claim that there was some level of negligence. And the thing about negligence is they have to see what is the duty owed, right? So if you are in a scene where you have a firearm, is it part of your duty? Do you owe everyone else the duty of checking to see what the ammunition in the gun is? No
safety regulations followed with these guns or whatever. Before this even happened, camera workers complained days before shooting about gun safety. There were 2 accidental prop gun discharges on Saturday, the day before.
On the same set.
On the same set. 2 accidental prop gun discharges with live rounds. 2.
So they knew in advance there were live rounds on the set.
Yes, they knew.
Oof.
So that's one of the strikes.
Yes.
Even though Alec Baldwin's going to be like, oh, I didn't know. You fucking knew. Because there were 2 accidental discharges days before. All right. From the Albuquerque Journal, quote, Baldwin's stunt double accidentally fired 2 rounds Saturday after being told that the gun was cold. No investigation of these ADs, accidental discharges. No safety meetings. No assurance that it wouldn't happen again. This was a low budget film, and this guy says, quote, all they wanted to do was rush. Another quote from the Albuquerque Journal, quote, a colleague was so alarmed by the prop gun misfires that he sent a text message to the unit production manager, quote, we've now had 3 accidental discharges. This is super unsafe, end quote. So 3 now.
Wow.
3 discharges before this girl gets shot.
That's bad.
Okay.
I mean, whoever, I think, so to me, it sounds more and more. My initial reaction is whoever owns the props and the prop guns is definitely effing up. And I'm holding that as highest person's responsible.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
I'm assuming Alec is just an actor, right? Like, is he like a director of the movie or?
So the director is this guy named Joel Souza, the guy that got shot in the shoulder. It is produced by Alec Baldwin, stars Alec Baldwin. I mean, Alec Baldwin's the guy.
So he's providing the funds.
He's 100% involved. He's 100% involved in this.
So
he's the producer. Yes, he's 100% involved. That's the thing.
Yeah, I get that.
So to say you don't know, dude, you can't say that shit. It's 2023. You should have, especially if there's been 3 fucking accidental discharges. Like, fuck you, man. Like, what are you fucking, you know?
Well,
oh,
even
it's not
if
my
he
fault.
says, how can you say, I don't know, especially in the time that we're in, like, so-and-so is going to talk to so-and-so, and then that so-and-so is going to go post it on Twitter, and then they're going to be reaching out to Alec Baldwin eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
by eventually, I mean very sudden, right away.
Well, Alec Baldwin, he's done these interviews and he's blamed everyone but himself. He didn't pull the trigger. It wasn't his fault. He's a fucking weasel, dude. Let me show you why I think he's a weasel real quick, if you guys don't mind. Can I show you a phone call that he made to his 11-year-old daughter before we go any further? Have you seen this, Jen?
I don't think so.
All right, so
I know I haven't.
Well, this is fucking crazy, and I might start like posting this everywhere just because it's like kind of sickening. Let me find it.
Is this before or after the incident?
Oh, this is like 2012.
Okay.
But still, it just shows what kind of guy this guy is.
Is it a call to Ireland?
Yeah. What? Do you know this?
No, I just know his daughter's name.
Oh shit, that was loud as fuck. Hold on.
Oh, I thought you meant like the location. I didn't realize that was his daughter's name.
No, his daughter's name. So this is Alec Baldwin calling his daughter, 11-year-old daughter, Ireland. This was, I don't know when this was, I guess like 2012-ish.
Hey, I want to tell you something, okay? And I want to leave a message for you right now, because again, it's 10:30 here in New York on a Wednesday, and once again, I made an ass of myself trying to get you a phone to call you at a specific time. When the time comes for me to make the phone call, I stop whatever I'm doing, and I go when I make that phone call. At 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that goddamn phone turned on. I want you to know something, okay? I'm tired of playing this game with you. I'm leaving this message with you to tell you, you have insulted me for the last time. You have insulted me. You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a damn that you're 12 years old or 11 years old, or that you're a child, or that your mother is a thoughtless pain in the ass who doesn't care about what you do as far as I'm concerned. You have humiliated me for the last time with this phone. And when I come out there next week, I'm going to fly out there for the day just to straighten you out on this issue. I'm going to let you know just how disappointed in you I am and how angry I am with you that you've done this to me again. You've made me feel like shit, and you've made me feel like a fool over and over and over again. And this crap you pull on me with this goddamn phone situation that you would never dream of doing to your mother, and you do it to me constantly and over again. I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to come out there for the day, and I'm going to straighten your ass out when I see you. Do you understand me? I'm going to really make sure you get it. Then I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to come home. So you better be ready Friday, the 20th, to meet with me. So I'm going to let you know just how I feel about what a rude little pig you really are. You are a rude, thoughtless little pig, okay? To replay this message. Hey, I want to...
So that's the guy that I fucking hate. That's how you talk to your 12-year-old or 11 whatever-year-old daughter? Fuck you, man. Okay? Fuck this guy, dude.
Yeah, that does say a lot.
It says a lot.
Says a lot.
Says a lot. And now he's like, no, I didn't do it. And I didn't even pull the trigger.
That's the person
Fuck
who
this
doesn't
guy.
hold accountability for their own actions.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I hear it.
Okay.
I definitely hear it.
All right, well,
yes.
I'm not finished yet. The morning of the shooting, the camera crew, half of the camera crew 6 camera crews, personnel walked off the set in protest before the shooting. So did Alec Baldwin not fucking know that happened? Like, I mean, half the camera...
This is getting... okay, you are definitely making this look way worse than I
Yes,
imagined.
right? Well, he's a piece of shit. This guy's a piece of fucking shit, and I hate this guy.
I mean, I'm not going to limit it to just him, honestly, though, because there's a lot of people involved in a movie set.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you the other person involved, but anyway, so the morning of, the camera crew walks off set. Long hours, long commutes, and they also had trouble collecting paychecks. They showed up every morning at 6:30 a.m., and this morning they gathered their gear and they left. These 6 were unionized workers for the camera crew, right? They were promised at the beginning of the production that the production would pay for their hotel rooms in Santa Fe, but instead they were told to drive 50 miles each day after working 13 hours on set each day. 50 miles. So now they're worried about getting in car accidents, getting there at 6:30, working 13 hours a day in the effing desert, and then driving home because, they promised them a hotel in Santa Fe and they didn't deliver.
Yikes.
All right. This is looking pretty bad for this fucking guy, right?
Yup.
Because there's videos of him like crying and you got to remember he's a fucking actor. Okay. Like when they told him, I'll show you a video of him learning that she's dead. He's like, oh, and I'm like, wow, that would win like an Academy Award.
He's not that good of an actor.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure he's upset, but he needs to fucking take goddamn responsibility, in my opinion. All right. I think he's a thoughtless little fucking piggy, in my opinion. All right, anyway.
Didn't get paid.
Corners were being cut and they brought in non-union cameramen so they can continue shooting. So the morning of, the cameramen leave, they bring in non-union cameramen to pick up the slack, right? 6 hours after the union camera crew left, she's dead. All right. Quote, the crew made their complaints directly to the assistant director, Dave Hall, who was named in the search warrant affidavit as the person handed Baldwin the gun that killed Hutchins and told him it was safe. Demanded all the discharges were documented. Quote, all of us yelled at him. That better be on the production report. These guys are irresponsible and shouldn't be here, one production source said. That should be automatic grounds for termination on a union film set. You should be gone. This is the first time the gun went off without telling anybody. The whole department should have been replaced immediately. Clearly, production thought better of it, decided to roll the dice and pay the ultimate price. Alec Baldwin is the production.
He's the producer.
He's the producer of the fucking film. Okay, he has money in this film. That money is not going to pay the cameraman. Obviously, he promises things and he doesn't deliver. Okay. And 3 discharges. Oh my, dude, one. I mean, I'm like going back to my military days. To have an AD, that is a fucking serious problem. To accidentally discharge your rifle. I mean, that you get disciplined seriously for that. Very seriously.
That to me would be, I would assume, a fireable offense.
But
100%.
But fucking 3.
Yeah, that's bad.
3. They're basically.
I mean, even if they were going with 3 strikes, you're out. They should have prevented the 4th. You know.
This guy Alec Baldwin is a fucking piece of shit. I don't care. I don't care. This guy's a piece of shit. So let me show. So he's involved. He's involved on who they're hiring.
Yes.
So let's talk about the armorer, right?
No.
So this is the armorer right here. Her name is Hannah Gutierrez Reed. This is her. Can you tell us about her? All right, what does she look like?
Brandon said, I think John summed up my feelings well with some clapping. She looks like Miley Cyrus, actually.
I don't see that, but she's young.
Yeah, she's 24. Let me show you a better picture of her. I know that one's kind of grainy. Here's a better photo of her right here. If you want to describe this one.
I'm still seeing a Miley Cyrus vibe, honestly. I don't see how I got that wrong the first time. I don't know.
What about these?
All right, so she has
she likes to take pictures.
This is the one who is in charge. This is the girl, a 24-year-old in charge of weapons.
What is her experience?
She has no fucking experience. That's the fucking thing, and we're going to talk about it. You know what her experience is that Alec Baldwin liked, probably besides these half-naked photos of her, is that she's fucking cheap, and he's fucking cheap, so that shit works out great. A 24-year-old. She actually fled Santa Fe when this happened. They did find her in her, quote, dilapidated Bullhead City apartment in Arizona. She is the assistant prop master and armorer at 24. 24. Holy shit. So the Colt was one of 3 pistols left on the table, and they told Baldwin it was cold, but it was loaded with live rounds. This was a second movie she's worked on, okay? She was, quote, known in the industry already as, quote, inexperienced and green. So I don't know if you guys are getting this, but to handle a weapons person, I guess being in the military, that's a serious thing, a serious job, a serious responsibility.
For
You
sure.
have to know how to work a gun and
Exactly. Even if they're just blanks.
Sure.
Like, you don't hire someone who doesn't even know what to do this and has recently left. I didn't see even she graduated, but she recently left Northern Arizona University, where she studied what? Firearms and armory and stuff like that. No, she studied creative media and film.
Oh dear. So does she even know how to handle a gun?
Well, she did on one podcast before this happened. She was talking about her previous movie. It was a Nicolas Cage movie, The Old Way. And she says, quote, I almost didn't take the job because I wasn't sure if I was ready. The scariest thing was loading blanks into a gun. And she actually didn't know how to do it. So she had to ask her father to help her do it.
Oh dear.
So she is actually the daughter of a, quote, legendary Hollywood armorer, Thale Reed. I don't know who that is, but apparently it's legendary. But she does not know what the fuck she's doing.
It's interesting that you bring that up, John. I'm sorry to interrupt, but nepotism has become a very hot topic in Hollywood lately.
What is it?
That's all they talk about. Being
What the fuck
the
is
term is a
nepotism?
nepo baby. Nepotism is when you
Is that
get
like you have sex with dead people?
No, that's necrophilia.
No.
Oh, what is a nepotism?
She's trying to say it.
Okay, fuck.
Nepotism is when you get a position or benefits or something because of who your family member is. So a lot
So
of
it's like
people,
if you hire the CEO of a company, you hire your son to be your vice president, and they have no experience.
But in Hollywood right now, the big talk is like a bunch of actors have no experience or aren't necessarily the traditional starving artists. They're pretty much spoon-fed because their parents or uncle or family member is so-and-so. So they get handed roles or jobs or,
there you
movies
go.
to produce or direct like that. So this sounds like what's going on in Hollywood right now.
It's not just her. Like, Alec Baldwin knows fucking better. Dude, you've been on so many fucking movies. You saying that you don't know any better is fucking bullshit. It's just like saying you didn't fucking pull the trigger. You pulled the damn trigger. You knew better. You knew that a gun, even if it's blank, even if it's fucking Nerf gun or a water gun, it needs to be inspected by multiple people, including the fucking actor himself. He was on an interview where the guy asked him, well, why didn't you actually look at the weapon yourself? Well, when I was a young actor, I took the clip out of, one prop gun, and then they took it back and they said they had to redo it because I wasn't supposed to. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking, you know what? You're cheap.
Excuses.
This is who you fucking hire to run your fucking weapons. 3 live rounds or 3 discharges on the fucking set days before. And this is who the fuck you hire. This girl right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is your fucking girl. Alec Baldwin's like, it's not my fault. It was her. She fucking did it. Well, you fucking hired her, dude.
So I'm assuming, she wasn't the person that handed Alec the gun and said it was cold, but she was the person that prepped that gun and gave it to the person who gave it to Alex.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So once, while handing an 11-year-old actress, Ryan Kira Armstrong, a gun, one source said, quote, she was a bit careless with the guns, waving it around every now and again. There were a couple of times she was loading the blanks and doing it in a fashion that we thought was unsafe. Well, she doesn't know. She said the scariest thing was loading a weapon. So she's like, guys, does the end go? Which way does the end go?
Oh God. But yeah, that is.
Do I put it down the barrel?
So it makes sense that she probably truly had no idea that she was loading in real rounds if she didn't know what they looked like.
Yeah, she doesn't know what they look like.
Right.
And Alec Baldwin, so
which
it's
is completely careless to
careless.
hire somebody that wouldn't know the difference.
There you fucking
handling
go.
your weapons. 100%.
She was reloading the gun on the ground where there were pebbles and stuff.
Oh Jesus.
the source said.
Oh, God.
We didn't see her check it. We didn't know if something got in the barrel or not. Zach Knight, a pyrotechnic and special effects engineer who is member of Local 44, told DailyMail.com on Friday that Hutchins' death was caused by a cascade of failures by multiple people. There should have never been live rounds on a movie set. That's number one. Number two is every single person on a movie set has the right to inspect a weapon before it is fired. And number three is there is no reason to ever put a person in front of a weapon that's firing. The cameraman. The camera can fucking be there. Just don't have the cameraman there. You know this, fucking Alec Baldwin. You've fucking done this thousands of times. You know what I'm saying? At one point, there's no fucking excuse, man. You got to take responsibility. You're just like a weasel now. I'm sorry. I know I'm just...
No,
I still want to know how the live rounds got there. Can they trace the
they don't.
purchases?
No
I have not found out. I have not seen how those things have even gotten there yet.
that is very puzzling that it would get there to begin with. I agree.
I mean, I don't think it's... Honestly, I think Gutierrez, the girl or somebody, they brought live rounds in there because it's a Western set and they want to shoot. I mean, I get it, man. Like when I was in Afghanistan, we were shooting all kinds of, when we
Bottles
weren't...
or whatever.
Well, not bottles. I mean, when we weren't shooting like at people, there's really nothing we were shooting at, rocks, I guess. But we were just shooting at the mountain. Like, I get it, but we were also really trained,
Yeah.
So
If anybody knows how to handle a weapon, it's you.
it's just crazy. I don't know.
I mean, you get mad at me anytime we're practicing. You're like, no, this is not I mean, correct me every time, which is good.
So there's a video of him when he gets told. All right, number one, I do think the guy is really upset, but
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not upset about
but I
killing
do
someone.
think he is placing the blame on everyone. He is the producer of the movie. He does have the responsibility. It's like, all right, if I'm driving my car and I get stopped and then there's like a cop opens the trunk and there's like 800 kilos in there. All right. It's my responsibility. I can't be like, I don't know how they got there, man. I'm driving the fucking car.
It's sugar. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, dude, like it's your fucking car. Like you got, what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mhm.
Like you don't know how it got there. The fuck? You had 3 accidental discharges a day before and you didn't know there were live rounds on the set. You must be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what if I was him, I'd just be like, listen, guys, I'm just a fucking idiot, and I don't think you can hold me accountable for that.
So he's already been to trial for this?
No, not so this is literally breaking news. But anyway, this is him. This is the Santa Fe police telling him that she died. He's probably like, how do I get out of this? Sorry. They're saying sorry to him. I mean, I'm not saying his reactions aren't fake, but he is a fucking actor, right? I mean,
I'm sure he's very upset about the fact that somebody did die.
I know, but
he's definitely not being accountable.
He's not being accountable. That's the thing. Like, he pulled the trigger. It happened. You can't just let this go, especially now with the 3 accidental discharges. All this. At first, I was like, damn, like that. They're like really railroading this dude. It was an accident, 1 round or whatever, but 3 accidental discharges. The cameramen protested. They walked off the fucking set, and then you shot someone.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely, when you hear the details, it absolutely paints a completely different story than what I thought. Because I had the same reaction at first, like, holy shit, what an awful accident. I can't imagine how I would feel if I was the actor handed a gun and didn't know that there were that's the story that I thought was going on. And there is definitely more to it, and I think there's at least 2 people who probably deserve some prison time.
Yeah, and I think he should go to fucking prison. The detective Hancock, who was interviewing Gutierrez, the stripper who also handles firearms, asked her why would there be live ammo on the set, and she says, I have no idea. So she has no idea, and so then she says that, well, maybe the company that produces said rounds accidentally put some live rounds in there. Okay. But that doesn't make any sense because the munitions company, Starline Brass, the company doesn't produce live ammo. So and then she says, so what the fuck? She said, throwing both
also,
hands in the air.
Guns
That's
don't come
insane.
preloaded.
So like, what are you saying? She's saying to the detective, somehow that one that should have never been able to fire was able to fire. What the fuck are you talking about?
She doesn't even know the language.
Yeah.
In terminology.
Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Wow.
But one of the rounds was live. It had a silver revolver primer. The detective says, that didn't stick out to you when you loaded the gun? The rest of them were not that same color. No, she says. That's all.
Oh my God. I mean, just...
Obviously, the question going around is, where did these come from?
Yeah, it is a question. But the fact is, if a professional with experience, even if there was a live round in the, that somebody accidentally stuck back in the box, if they were, shooting bottles or whatever off the set, which is illegal anyway.
Yeah.
Someone who had experience knew what they were doing would have caught that.
I feel like anyone could have caught that.
The detectives,
if it looks different than the other ones,
would have noticed something was different. And in that sort of circumstance, like, holy shit, safety of above all things is important.
There's an inspection process. It's like a production line. The armorer hands it off to the assistant director. The assistant director hands it off to the actor. Like, there's 3 fucking people right there that should have seen it. 3 at least. I don't know the whole like setup, but that is standard. That's like, illegal if you don't do it a certain way. That's standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
The detective says, quote, she commingled stuff. He said, that's my thought. She straight up commingled stuff and she didn't do what she was supposed to do. You have to assume that everything's live coming in. All the Western belts coming in and out and going out to be live because you can't trust anyone. So she's saying that she didn't bring them in. So,
she probably didn't even know if she did or not.
Yeah,
like,
she doesn't. She doesn't know the difference between them. She says the scariest thing I do on a movie set is loading blanks. Like, how is that scary? Because you don't know if they're live or not. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Definition.
Like, stop fucking taking these stripper photos and putting your mind into that and do your fucking job. You just got someone fucking killed. I hate people. I hate Alec Baldwin, and that motherfucker is saying I'm up for finishing Rust. The movie's called Rust. I'm up for finishing it. You're a fucking asshole. If that movie comes out, I hope you spend all your fucking money on that movie. And when it comes out, I hope everyone fucking protests it.
I hope it doesn't come out.
Fucking
Jeez.
piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, dude, fucking man up, dude. Cowboy up and say, listen, I fucked up. We hired a fucking idiot. I didn't check the rounds. I pulled the trigger. It was a mistake. That's all you got to say. Stop fucking pointing fingers, man.
Yeah, and don't say that you didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, don't.
Literally,
you did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a gun, even if you drop a gun, guns just don't fucking fire. That's like a misconception. Kids are going through
too about like cars blowing up. It's like cars don't just fucking blow up.
Yeah, like a car crash and the cars just blow up. They just don't.
Yeah.
This doesn't fucking
doesn't
happen. I don't know. I hope you guys like that.
I mean, I think it's really important, and I think just like a lot of things, the headline is maybe misleading with what actually happened there. And I do think at least two people deserve to go to prison for some period of time. Doesn't have to be a long time, but they need something.
Dude, I don't like prison either, man. I'm gonna tell you. I'm just kidding. But dude,
something else you need to tell us?
If this was on my mind, like they're not going to put you in prison forever. You go 18 months, you get let out in 6. Dude, do it because it's the right fucking thing to do. Like, man up, because a Ukrainian woman who, was the most upbeat. She was the one that didn't walk out for the camera crew.
Yeah, she wanted to stay.
Like, just do it because you're a decent human being, not a thoughtless little piggy, okay? Not a thoughtless, selfish little piggy. That's what he called his daughter.
Yeah.
So
bad.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
That's pretty wild. Shram said that the girl, I forget what her name was, the one that I think looks like Miley Cyrus, looks like a
Gutierrez,
looks like a YouTuber named Emma Blackery.
Well, she looks like someone I saw at Platinum Plus when I was like 21, but I mean, I can't remember. I was drunk, I would never fucking hire a woman like that. Are you fucking kidding? Yeah. I mean, all right, you have no fucking college. You went to college for creative. I didn't even see she graduated. She went for 3 years. Don't you have to go for 4 to graduate? I don't think
it depends on your program, but traditionally,
I don't think she graduated. I don't think they fucking graduate.
Brandon said that place is long gone now, John. He knows the Platinum Plus. Well, if you're I think the bottom line, if you're gonna hire somebody to handle guns, have experience with guns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
No
know.
fucking shit.
Just a suggestion.
Okay, I got a movie scene for us. All right. Now it might be a little dangerous, but we're gonna hire someone that plays a lot of video games with us. So we need
Don't hire me.
We need to get in a helicopter. We got to take a real helicopter flight. But I don't want to hire a pilot because that's a lot of money. All right. But there's this kid that plays Grand Theft Auto, and he's really good at flying the helicopters on Grand Theft Auto. I think we can get him for cheap. Now he's only 17. So, I mean, dude, what's the fucking difference? Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, that's not her fucking job at all. She did not know what a gun was. Like, you should see her fucking Instagram page. She's like waving it around. I would never fucking hire someone that's waving a fucking gun around.
Nope.
Ugh, sorry. I'm just fucking, I hate people. Not you guys.
Brandon said you can hire him. He can drive just about anything for your helicopter needs.
I mean, is that not the same thing? Like,
very similar. Very similar.
I don't want to pay a real pilot, so I'm going to hire this.
Cheap. Yeah, not something you want to cheap out. We do have a saying that I think it has served us well, and maybe it's been for like the last solid probably year we've been living by this. Don't cheap out.
Yeah.
Hiring someone, if you're going to hire somebody to manage your guns, don't cheap out.
I hope you guys like that. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.